What's happening, guys? It's Winston here from Unarmed Philly. I also made this video really quick to talk about a black young man who was killed recently. His name is Stephon Clark. Okay, I have the New York Daily News pulled up here on my computer, and he basically was killed in his backyard. As the story says, it says Stephon Clark was in the backyard of the home he shared with his grandmother and some of his siblings when he was killed. Clark's brother told the Sacramento Bee. And it goes on to say a suspect was described as a 6'1" man wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, okay, and dark pants hiding in the backyard. The story goes on to say deputies told police the suspect had used a toolbar to break another home's window. Deputies in the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department helicopter spotted Clark in the backyard and told deputies he had shattered a window with a toolbar. Okay. Above it, it says a police department said officers were responding to a report that someone was breaking car windows nearby. And it goes on to talk about that. Okay, so essentially, this guy, essentially, what happened was, if you read the story, what happened was this guy who was killed by cops was not the assailant that was called in. Okay, he was not the one doing any of these things. He was simply a young black man who was shot and killed in his backyard talking on his cell phone. Okay, his grandparents, based on the story that I read, who were in the house, said they didn't even hear the cops telling him to do anything, but they just heard pop, 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 and he was dead. Okay, the cops said they approached him, as if to say that they approached him and say, put your hands in the air, and he somehow decided to point an object, which was his cell phone, that is based on what they said, towards them. They felt threatened and had to shoot and kill this man. Now, I won't want to say murder because that's what I really feel like it is, but since they haven't, I guess face a trial yet, hopefully they will, we'll call it, the fact that he was just, he just died. Let's say he died. It was the incident that happened, okay, which was that innocent black man was killed again, okay. It's really not funny, but I'm making this video because I don't, make videos on these incidents all the time because I'm wondering if I did, I would be making videos every single day, probably 3 or 4 times a day. Sad to say, if I were to do this, I want to be able to do my regular job, okay. But the reason I'm making this video is because I just want to talk about an ongoing thing, which is that black men not only are we routinely, targeted, but there's a thing going on right now, which I believe, which is that cops are killing black men, okay, because they want to. People are gonna look at this story and they're gonna say, the cops thought he had a weapon. Really? You really thought he had a weapon? Number one, if someone is accused of breaking into cars or breaking car windows or graffitiing on cars, okay, or anything like that, why would you be ready to use deadly force? Let me say, well, the reason why he used deadly force is because of the fact that they thought he had a weapon. But this is the thing. This guy had a cell phone in his hand. If you're a cop, okay, and someone has an object in their hand, you shouldn't be, ready to shoot and kill, okay? Seriously, okay? If I hear that someone, stole candy from a candy shop, okay, and they have a candy cane in their hand, and I see them from a distance, I shouldn't be ready to shoot them because they have a candy cane in their hand because it looks like it could be possibly a gun. If that's the position that you're in, you should not be a cop at all, okay? Now, I personally believe 100% that these cops didn't shoot this man because they thought that his cell phone was a gun, okay? I believe they shot him because they wanted to. They probably thought, I'm almost assured they thought we could shoot in his direction at the very least. Maybe hit him, okay? Possibly kill him, which is what happened. He died, okay? And he died for what reason? He died for no reason at all, okay? While these cops are, for all we know, still in the force, Hopefully they'll see the inside of a courtroom because the percentage of cops that see the inside of a courtroom, okay, after killing unarmed civilians is probably less than 10%, really, maybe 1%. It's extremely low, okay? Our group, RMS Philly, we're pushing a bill that would make it so that, which I'm not going to go into right now, but you can look this up on our page on our website, which is www.rmsphilly.blogspot.com. We're pushing a bill that basically would make it so that when unarmed civilians are shot and killed, okay, by cops, that the cops have to at least see the inside of a courtroom, okay, at the very least. Because the thing is this, when these cops decided to shoot this man, they weren't afraid of the law at all. That's why they fired at the man. They didn't make sure that he had a gun. They saw him talking on something. And the reason I'm saying this is because I know that it was just an excuse for him to say that, oh, we thought he had a gun. I guarantee you that this guy did not see cops approaching him and hold his hand out like this with a cell phone in it. Only a fool would do that, especially black man. But I'm a black man myself. I know, even as a child, I knew if you see a cop coming around you for any reason at all, if they're approaching you, you have to be compliant with whatever they say. My mother used to always tell me, no matter what the cop does, just do what they say. You could be killed. Make sure you just do whatever they tell you to do. Make sure you do it, okay? Because they can shoot you and no one will know, okay? I remember even as a child, even when I was young, around like age 19. Actually, I think I was around his age. I was around 22. I was working at Chick-fil-A, okay, in the suburbs at the time. I'm from Philadelphia. I lived in the suburbs also. I lived in Orland, Pennsylvania, which is, in my opinion, extremely racist area. I wouldn't advise anyone to go to live in Orland, PA. But anyway, I was living in Orland, PA at the time, and I remember I was waiting for a bus one day. I ran across the street to make a light, and a cop pulls up next to me, and demands all my information. She says, "What's your name? What's your social security number?" Demands all his information from me. And I'm like, what? And I was starting to get really, really upset. I was like, "What did I do?" And I asked myself, "What happened?" And he didn't tell me anything. He was just like, "How dare you ask me what happened?" And then finally he says, he got a call in that a kid had was hooking from school. Okay, here I'm like 22 years old. I've been out of high school. Okay, and the only nearest high school was like Springfield High, which is like 5 or 6 miles down the road. I'm thinking to myself, if I'm hooking from school, why would I be 6 miles down the road from the high school? Okay, running across the street to catch a bus. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, but I had my work for uniform on and everything, but that's what that was what he decided to do. And the real reason was because he wanted to make me mad and get my information. That was the reason why he said, "Oh, it's a nigger in this area." Well, we gotta get his information, okay? And I've had that happen to me many, many times. Okay, that's just one example. Okay, I cry inside for this man. I can't cry any tears because it's happened so much. You feel like you can't cry anymore, to tell you the truth. When I saw what happened to Trayvon Martin, it really hurt me. I feel like that could be my brother, and in reality, he really was my brother. You know what I mean? When anyone dies, unnecessarily, like in this instance, it's a shame. The fact that this young man was shot is really ridiculous. The cops but the reason I'm making this video is just to let you guys know and emphasize that you're gonna see a lot of news outlets that continually say and push your story that cops are scared. Cops are scared, and that's not the truth. That's a lie. It's either misconception, but really what it is, from the cops' point of view, the cops who are guilty, I should say, because not all cops are guilty, but for the ones who are doing these shootings, they want to do these things, okay? You have the story, I think it was last year, where a woman pulled over an elderly gentleman because I think he had car trouble. She pulls him over. Other cops are with them. She tells him to get out the car. He approaches her, okay, as she tells him to do. Then she tells him something, and he goes towards his car. Okay, she tells him something, and he leaves, walks towards his car. Probably said, "Get your ID" or something like that. He walks towards his car. She approaches him and shoots him. Okay, and he dies. After he comes towards her, he has no gun on him. Okay, he's a black man who has car trouble. She tells him to do whatever. He walks towards the car, not runs, but walks towards the car. All the other cops around her are looking like calm. There's a helicopter overhead. She shoots the guy and he dies. Okay. You know what I mean? I believe that she did. I think she did. Get arrested ultimately for the incident. But these things happen all the time. Then you have the stories of young men who were shot. In the back. The kid. I forget his name. Who was someone called in and said that a child had a gun. It was a kid in like a playground playing with a toy. Cops pull up, just shoot the gun the kid down. People routinely say. There's a lot of these news outlets, and I'm not even talking about mainstream. I'm talking about even stuff that's what you see on YouTube, stuff, these online outlets that say, there needs to be more training. Cops, they're scared. No, they're not. They're not scared. They're intentionally killing these black people. Okay, that's what's going on. You understand? So many people are in the KKK. So many people, they hate minorities. They hate black people. Everyone in this nation does not believe that this nation is a better place because there's no slavery. A lot of people in this nation believe that this nation is a worse place because there's no slavery. A lot of people in this nation wish that all black people would go back to Africa. They got us and brought us over here, and I want us to go back on our own. So the way you see things on TV, if everyone seeming to get along, that's not the way things really are in this nation. And I know that personally from living in this nation, which is extremely racist. A lot of good people in America, there's a lot of racist people in America. Even south of the United States, there's unbelievable racism down there too. To the point where there are TV shows that still have blackface, in South America. A lot of people don't even know that. It's still going on in South America, So it's really ridiculous, but I'm gonna call it as it is. These people are being shot and killed, and they're saying, "Oh, we thought he had a gun." The guy didn't take it, so he wasn't on his cell phone and said, "Oh, cops are approaching me. Let me aim my cell phone towards them like a weapon so they can shoot me." No, I'm sure if he saw them coming towards me, he put his hands up. His grandparents said they didn't hear him say anything. So what probably happened was that most likely was that the cops saw him. He was talking on his cell phone in the backyard, and they just shot him, and he died. And that's just how it turned out. And then they said, "Oh well, we're gonna say, that he was pointing his cell phone at us, And on top of the fact that I even want to say this, a lot of these calls that happen a lot, in my opinion, could be intentional, and I think a lot of them are intentional. I think that people are calling in, they're seeing black people in their neighborhood, they don't like that, so they're calling in cops, and they're intentionally making calls, essentially putting in these calls to have cops come out and approach black people, hoping that there could be a shootout and the person could be killed. There've been a lot of stories of different calls where people say, "Oh yeah, I saw someone with a gun. I saw a guy with a blue fleece, a blue Ziploc fleece, like me, and he was walking around with a gun. And I don't have a gun." He said, "Oh yeah, and he had a black phone like I have, excuse me, they'll say, he had a black gun and I have a black phone, so that the cops will come out and see me walking down the street and shoot and kill me." Okay. You may say, "Oh, that would never happen." Yes, that stuff does happen. Okay, that stuff does happen. There are people that are sitting at home thinking of ways to hurt black people, and even right now, and today is, I believe, what is today? The 20th, I think today is the 21st, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see what this is. It's the 21st, March 21st, 2018. As I'm uploading this video, we've recently had stories of black people receiving packages in the mail that were bombs. Okay. Racist people are sitting home figuring out ways to try to attack us. With our president, who recently said that he believes that, and that's a whole nother story I'm not even going to go into right now, how he believes that blacks should be able, excuse me, not blacks, that's what he really means, that drug dealers should receive the death penalty, basically is what he said when he said that in his comments at the rally that he had earlier in the month of March. These people feel greatly emboldened, so we do all we need to do. We need to make sure we vote during these 2018 midterm elections so that these people can get out of here, okay? Because that's what needs to happen, okay? And do all that we can, help each other out. If someone is killed or hurt around you, don't just say, "Oh, hey, it's going to continue to happen." Say, "That's my brother, that's my sister," okay? I'm a Christian personally. The Bible says, "Love your neighbor as yourself." I see things like this, it hurts me, and I wish that wouldn't happen, and I do all I can to stop it, okay? So, God bless you guys. Peace out.